All right. I think I got this right. All right. So here we are back. We are going to look at the transits for the week of October 25th. And we are starting on our new moon in Scorpio. And kind of an interesting week. I like how we got a little grouping here. It just makes for interest. And we have all of these little guys going across, and all these little guys, all these planets going across the nodes of the moon. So this will be an interesting couple weeks. And as we've already talked about, coming up to these midterms, we can also see this energy, how it's been affecting the rest of the world. The different things, the whole populist movement. We've had this shakeup, this Uranian shakeup by the moon nodes, and then we have this ongoing square here, with Saturn and Uranus, and that's just still, it was more. Now we're finally getting a little relief, but it's still in orb, and that's still affecting us. All right, so I've got quite a few notes here for you today. What do we have going on? Well, let's see. Where to start? Well, let me look over here where I kind of have things upside down in my notes, but that's okay. We have Mercury, 22 degrees. This is one thing other than our moon, our new moon here. Oh, while I'm at it, the new moon we see at this 2 degrees Scorpio, and then we have this 2 degrees Venus in here. Let me just talk about that while it's there. It's the moon and Venus are being eclipsed. So it's like the emotional energy is being forced to kind of take back seat, to you have to kind of take in right now. It's like going introspective. That moon energies, it's being eclipsed, and then Venus values being eclipsed and being wondered about, being, so where is your Venus values? It goes everything from love and money. It covers a big area, and then together with the moon. So you got your moon and emotions, and then things that you care about. So there's a bit of kind of hibernating on some of that, maybe getting in some priorities, and then instead of pushing into a big intention of a new thing because it's a south node eclipse, it's like, what do I need to release? Any old emotional hangups or anything to do with money, values, relationships that I really need to clear out while this stuff is in the depths of Scorpio before I really move forward. It's like last time to go over and clean out the crap in the drawers, or it's like, do you really need that blah 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 emotionally, or thoughts about money or finances, or do you really value that, what you thought you valued? It's kind of coming up now. All right. Mercury, because it's moving so fast, we see that still a cardinal sign, 22 degrees, and in a few days it will be, we're coming into a square with Pluto. Well, well, well. Well. Kind of reminds me, Mercury's just digging in, forgetting the depths, going in, just digging out the depths there of Pluto. It's I don't want to say, it's moving into that that underworld, and it's bringing up information. It's bringing up nastiness. It's bringing up things you knew. It's bringing things out. It's a square, so it's challenging stuff, and it's, Mercury's communications, and it's at the very end of Libra, so it's wanting to balance things. It's wanting to balance stuff out, but it's got to go into Hades there, and make some, it's got to go interview the devil, kind of. It's got to go interview hell. It's got to go and bring up some of the stuff for people to see. And it's not a trine. Next month it'll be different, but right now we got a square. Okay, let's move on from that. That's interesting there. What else do we have? one more thing about the Venus and the Venus and the being eclipsed in the moon and the sun. Just the next couple days, it's kind of like it's close to the heart or the gut or survival, because it's our value stuff. So we don't want to maybe offend people by saying too much or overdoing things. You don't need to say and keep talking. Sometimes we say that it's like, okay, shut up already. We say too much about something, you give away your secrets, or you say too much, or it's not necessary. You already closed the deal, or whatever it is. But this aspect is kind of like you feel like you need to keep blah 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 blah. So let this pass about the Venus being eclipsed, because its values are just hidden. Last thing on that, too much overdoing. That was the last thing I was going to say about that. Again, it's too much. We want to just keep speaking about it. All right, so Venus values overdoing. Just watch the impulse to just keep going for the next couple of days. All right, now again, and then the overdoingness of that is what house. So we got to watch how much we say, how much we do, how much we are going over. But and then it's in what house? Is it in your first house of talking about you? Is it in your second house of your values? Is it in your third house of siblings and everyday things? Is it in your fourth house of securities? Is it in your fifth house of creations? Where is it, in your house that's going to get like overdone? That's all. So just keep like a little note of that. All right, moving on. Mars is slowing down and slowing down and slowing down. We talked about Mars last time, and it's over there 25 degrees. It's getting very, very stationary. But what's interesting now? It's forming, you see, it's 25 degrees. And you see, we were just talking about Pluto is 26 degrees. That's an inconjunct or a quincunxt, as Rick Levine likes to say, quincunxt. All right, so it's slowing down. Now, interesting thing about this is that it's not going to become an exact quincunx in conjunct, because it's going to retrograde at 25 something. It's not going to reach 26. It will next spring. Once it goes forward, it will catch up to that degree, and then it will actually quincunxt, inconjunct, that's how we say it, Pluto. So right now, what does that mean? It gets annoyingly close. I mean, that inconjuncts are just kind of icky. They're annoying. They're not comfortable. These two are definitely, Mars and Pluto, they're definitely not comfortable with each other, and they're not working together. And this kind of makes for like a power struggle. And it's not, but the weird thing is it's not perfected yet. It doesn't get to the inconjunct. It's close, but it won't fulfill that quincunx until next spring. So it kind of, it doesn't give you a clear, it's not going to give us a clear cut win or finality on anything. And I think this is a little foreshadowing of 2 weeks from now. A foreshadowing of some of these events. We have a lot of stuff coming up. Well, I know Mercury's bringing a lot of things out. I think doo-doo is going to hit the fanola, and we're not going to see satisfaction just yet. So that's kind of like an annoying thing, but that's what this is all about. This Mars slowing down, because again, it's not going to go to 26. So it's like it's been going. And it's so Pluto's like ha ha ha. All right, so that's one interesting thing that's happening. And then what else do we got? Another back to Mercury. We got coming up. We've got Mercury over to Neptune. Here, let me get off of this. Here I go. Go by days. Okay, so Mercury, look at like boop. It barely, like I can't even go the whole thing, and it goes, look at tomorrow, like the 26th, late the day. Oh, this is even in the morning. Anyway, we're coming into that right now, from now till tomorrow. Look at 22, and it goes 2 degrees in a day. Okay, so anyway, we have that quincunx over to Neptune, Mercury over to Neptune. So Mercury's kind of at an odd spot there, it's doing some stuff with Pluto, and it's, not comfortable, and then it's not doing some comfortable with Neptune. So Mercury, Neptune, information, lack of clarity, lack of information. It's like trying to bring some stuff up from Pluto, but it's not going to be understood. Or it's going to be just too much or fuzzy. So look for that. Again, a lot of stuff's going to come out, and still people are not going to have a clue. If you don't already know a lot what's going on, you're screwed, kind of. You've got a big learning curve. There's a lot, and you wouldn't be watching this video if you didn't already know a lot of going on. So it's just confusing to the masses, because a lot of things will be coming up and people won't know how to process it. Okay, and then we already talked about the Saturn-Uranus square. The Saturn down here and Uranus, and it's still, still holding its own. Okay, what else we got going on? Venus over here in, where is it? Venus. No, that's not what I wanted to show you. Coming over there. All right. Move this on. Okay. All right. Venus is moving forward. We're on the 28th now, and it's kind of separated. Mercury's moved past Pluto. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Yeah, let's go back one day. Oh, okay. There's also a Jupiter. Where do I want to go? Jupiter's about to move into Pisces. And for a brief moment, the moon, when it's in Sagittarius, like right here. Yeah, I got it. Okay, on the 27th. When the moon moves into Sag, what time is it? 7 in the morning on the 27th, Thursday morning. All right, there's a brief time where the moon conjuncts Jupiter. We got this little optimistic, oh, and then later that day, Jupiter then backs up into Pisces. So we got but it's kind of interesting too. So it kind of ushers in this nice little fire energy, charged up about something. Maybe we've done some purging through the moon. We're starting to gain, some new momentum in things. We get this little fluff of this movement of the moon being charged up, and then having this nice little hit with Jupiter, this nice little trine before Jupiter goes back into Pisces. Now that's interesting, because it's going to be its own place, rulership there. It's comfortable there, and it's been there for a while, so we kind of know that energy. So there we go. The next day, see, it's like later that day, but I'm just doing it by the day, and you see that Jupiter's back into Pisces. All right, so that's just going to kind of be a different feeling. So that energy is going to be more that expansive energy is going to kind of be more expansive. It's not going to be as edgy as it's been in Aries. It's got its pluses and minuses in both, but that we got that one going on. And then let's see, what is on the 27th, that on the 27th we have that exact Mercury square to Pluto down here. I can see it right there, 26. All right, and then just move on. And what else do we got going on? Friday's a kind of quiet day. The 28th was kind of quiet, not a whole lot astrologically, other than what I just mentioned. And let's see what else is going on this Saturday. Well, we know that with Jupiter moving into Pisces, that the energies is going to make it feels like a different land, and the veil's already thin, this time of year, Hallows Eve and All Saints Day. The veil is getting thinner, and then with Jupiter there, it's even thinner. So I'm also thinking that this kind of goes along with the South Node purging. You're into that spiritual realm of getting rid of things in yourself that you no longer need. And, we get that last little alignment there with Jupiter and Aries and the moon. And then we get Jupiter moving back into Pisces, which kind of puts us back into that receptive, intuitive, spiritual space. So that's, I guess, the theme of this week. We've got this purge and we've got the spiritual theme, and, really working on the inside. This is, I think, a time to align with your intuition, doing intuitive training, intuitive drills, working on your intuitive skills, because the veil is getting a little thinner there. All right. And then interesting, the moon then moves into Capricorn. It brings us some more practical things, practical reality as we head into All Hallows Eve. We start just feeling that, and then then the moon there goes right over Pluto, and we get that emotional practicality. I think a lot of the things what might be starting to be revealed in the next few days start to gain some traction and some ground when the moon actually hits, practical, steady climbing Capricorn. And then it goes over and it has a conversation with Pluto, which Mercury's already been there. And, the moon has already been toughened a little bit here with this, with this purging. So it's ready to meet up with Pluto. And it'd be interesting to see how, how we begin the next little phase of this history here. This is, history in the making. We've got some really, really interesting things before us. So as we move through these days, try to slow it down and try to kind of look around and really notice with your senses what's going on within yourself, within others, within the world, and, affect it the best way you can. Try to maybe in the morning, give yourself a set something in your mind for the day. Try to have it where you can have good, positive, realistic thoughts, and then that can move down into the words you say, and then into the actions that you come out with from those. So if you have the intentions in the beginning of the day to be aligned, good thought, good word, good deed, it will more than likely have better effects. So we can slow down this time because it has a tendency to start speeding up here by paying attention to that, because we have a really interesting week, and it's really about the spiritual purge, getting rid of things on the inside that you no longer need, get ready to accept information that's coming out, and more than anything, I think, get more ready to help other people accept a lot of the information that's coming out, and be prepared to be way showers for the new phase of time that we're all ushering in. All right, I think that's about it for today. This next week, this will bring us up to, next Monday, and then, we'll have Tuesday, will be the 1st of November, which will start us on a new theme. All right, and okay, clicking on things that start there. Okay, and then that will just bring us kind of into a new phase. So with that, I think I am going to end it for today. And I hope you can look in your charts again to see where the moon nodes, where the eclipse is, and knowing what areas of life to navigate on. All right, thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you all next time. Bye for now.